everybody, it's Diana with Stamping with Di. Welcome to my YouTube channel and this week's Teach Me Tuesdays, episode 243. Thank you so much for joining me today. And I'm going to be doing the new, what is the name of this? What is the name of this? Oh my gosh. The Layered Landscape Kit. And I showed you this last week, I think it is, when I did my quick little unboxing. But I never made them, so I told you I would be making it this week, and today is the day. So if you are new to my channel, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. My name is Diana, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm in Santan Valley, Arizona. So welcome, welcome. During the live presentation, I will be in the chat room, so that's where you'll want to head on over there. So if you have any questions, that's where I'll be, as well as everybody else. It is so great to see all the friendships that are growing over there. If you are watching the replay, then just leave a comment down below. YouTube will let me know, and then I can reach out to you. All right, so I think that's all I wanted to go over. Don't forget, November the 13th to the 15th, there's a seasonal sale going on, and I did mention that the other day, and you can read more about that on my blog as well. So don't miss that. Shop as early as you can so you don't miss out on anything. All right, so I think I am ready to start. I have my little booklet with my instructions. All right, so let's set it off to the side there, and we will begin. So close your eyes just for a second while I get my camera adjusted. So this kit makes 4 scenes, and I did show you the kits the other day. So it has 4 different scenes, and it has 4 frames. And they're a good size frame. Somebody asked if they were wood, and I think they are. I think they might be called pressed wood. I'm not a real, but I mean, they don't sound plastic. And so see how it's stapled together? So that makes me think it's wood, because I don't think you could staple plastic. So I don't really know. But anyways, but you have 4 frames. So let's get started. And then you have these strips, and so that's gonna make the things be 3D. So what I'm gonna do really quick is I'm going to, because see there's like a frame, so I'm just gonna take my snips and, well, I didn't really want to snip that. All right, hang on a minute. I'm gonna snip this to keep that one long. I'll snip here to keep that one long, just so I'm not going to miss any of these edges. All right, so let's see here what it has. So the instructions are, so I already have those pieces, and it looks like you're building it from the back forward. All right, so let me get those. So this is the scenery I'm going to build first. All right. So I'm going to flip this over. I'm going to get my silicone sheet, I think. So I'm going to put this here. And then, so what I would do, like what I did the other day, I laid them all out. So I would lay them all in the order that they need to be before you start gluing. So I know that this is the order these will go, because I know when I was putting them together for the video the other day, I had one in the wrong place. So it's better to find out now than when you get done. So once you know that that's the order, then just flip them upside down, and then we can start adding our strips. All right, so we have, so it's saying 1 strip, and it has it going right to the edge. Okay, so we have 1 strip. Then we're going to come down, and we're going to put one here. Also on the bottom. And I'm coming in just a tad, just a little tiny bit, just so it's not clear on the edge. I mean, that might be wrong because now I see my glue dot is a little bit longer, so that's probably why they have you do. So I'm just going to stick this one up here. I don't think that will hurt, that has a little bit of not bling, but it has a little bit on the edge there. All right, and I think they're the same length. Let me see. Yeah, they're the same length. All right, and then we're going to put one down here. So again, it might be a tad bit long, just because I came in just a little bit. So I'll do the same thing. I'll just put it up here. We're not going to waste it. And that, I think that will just give my trees a little bit of support, right? All right, so that looks good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then that's going to get glued right on there. All right, so I don't know if I need that silicone now. All right, because they're pretty much staying within the card. Okay. And then this will get glued on here. So I'm just keeping my fingers here so they're not getting too much sticky, so that I can get it along that same edge there. Okay, so I was off just a little bit there, but I don't think it's going to matter so much. All right, so then we want this one. Okay, so this time we are bringing our dimensionals from the side. And I'm just going to grab this one that I cut. Remember I cut that? So I'm not wasting any. This would be a quick class, wouldn't it? All right, so then I'm just going to come over here. So if it's missing a little bit there, I'm not going to worry too much about it. And then on the bottom, and here, and it overhangs just a little bit. So again, I'm just going to trim a little bit off. And let's see, I can put a little bit here because I don't want to come up here. Like this was fine because this is touching here, but I don't want to put any up here because then it will touch here and I don't want it to touch there. All right, so we'll just peel that off. So I think the bottom one, you can come up a little bit if you want, but not the other ones, or I think you'd run into issue. All right, so now let's bring this back and meet my edges like that. Because see what I mean? If I'd have put one up here and that touched, it would be wrong. All right. Okay, then we want the next one. So now the next one, I love how the shape, right? Like the shape here is the shape here. So it's just very, very smart how they have really made it where I think you'd really have to really mess up, and I've done that, you know, to really mess it up. Like I think you'd have to just be not even paying attention. Now watch that happen because I'm doing the video. I'll be like not paying attention. All right, so we've got that and that, and again just a tiny little bit overhang, not much, but now remember it's got a matting. This is a little piece. I'm just going to toss that. It has a matting that's going to cover the edges. All right, so peel, peel, peel. And then that's going to go on here. So again, just line up your edges as best as possible. And already you can see how cool this is turning out. Like, look at all those layers and stuff. Very cool. Even like they've even got kind of like shadow and stuff like that going on. It's beautifully drawn. All right, and then we have our last piece, and then that one calls for an angly and 2 straights. So let's see here. I'm going to cut here. So we are wasting none, zippo none of these dimensionals. Okay. Let's see, that one's probably going to be long because I'm using the edges, but that's okay. We'll just trim. I'm getting off the camera. I need to pull my thing down just a little bit. There we go. We'll put this here. All right, and then there's an angly one. So there's an angly one that goes like that. All right, so let's bring our picture back over. So how fun. I love that there's like a little bit of every, like look at these beautiful, the rock and the flowers. So cute. All right. So that goes on there like that. And look at, it's just this beautiful, beautiful scene. And then there is the mask. And I'm wondering if it's going to say anything about the mask. Let's see here. Let's see what it says. Anything about the masks? It says... Okay, so it looks like I'm putting... Okay, I'm putting the mask in the frame. And I think this kit came with little glue dots. But you know me, I always use my regular glue dots. All right, so there's that. So let's bring the frame over. So... if I can pull it out without opening all of those things up. Maybe not. Come on out. Come on out, you. There we go. All right, so it looks like you're to put the frame or the matting. Maybe I will have to open these up. So it looks like you're putting the matting in here, so that you have a matting there, and the picture falls in, which totally makes sense, right? Because I was questioning it, because if I put it here, it would stick out here on the bottom, but then it was kind of floppy there. All right, so it looks like we're putting, see how it mentions right here. So see, we're putting glue dots in there. All right, which is fine. And the mat doesn't really have a front or a back. All right. So like I said, I probably put my glue dots somewhere because I like to use these ones. So we're just going to use these. So I'm going to simply pick a glue dot off with my pick tool, and I'm just going to lay it in the frame here. And I'll do the same thing here. Get in here. I just don't want you to be able to see them, so they're just kind of off to the side. Okay, one here. here. So what I will do is I will do all the scenes. I'll do one frame, but I'll do all the scenes. And then I'll show you the finished ones because you don't need to see me do this to each frame. Okay, and then this mat is going to fall down in there like that. And then just kind of push it so those little glue dots snag. And look how cute. So now you have even more dimension because you've got like dimension here. Now we're going to have dimension from here. And then this simply lays in here. Like that. Oh, isn't that cool? All right, so let me get the back. And before I close it, I want to look at it. Okay. Look how cool. Isn't that cool? All right, so let me close this. Ugh. Where's my little... Here we go. I'm going to use this. So this is just a, what do you call it? A staple removal. So I'm going to just close these like this. I don't want to close them flat. I just want them to be even with the other one because I think what's going to happen when you stand it up, because I'm looking at the thing, because when you stand it up, see, when you stand it up like this, then you just kind of push that back, and then you have that space there. Because see how then it comes out? See, it comes to that. So I don't think you want to squish it tight, because then it's going to push that forward. So look how cool this looks. Now what I am going to do before I go on to the next one, I'm going to put a little Wink of Stella on my water. So I'm just going to take my Wink of Stella and I'm going to paint it on my water there. That looks so cool. It makes it look so real. I don't use my Wink of Stella enough. And it sits here on my desk. It's one of those things that I think everybody needs a Wink of Stella in their craft room. All right. So look at how adding that Wink of Stella, isn't it look cool on the water? So neat. And then I don't know if I will, like I might still, remember I said something about like adding an airplane or something. So I think you could totally do other things to them. All right, so I'll set that one aside and then we'll go to the next one. Okay, so the next one is the Arizona one. So if you know people that live in different parts of the country, I think you could make one for, you know, your friends that maybe live. So then you would have 4 different presents if you did that. All right, so let me get this one. And again, I'm going to make sure I have my thing in order. And if you're not sure, you could always number them. You know, like say you were going to do a class, you could have everybody like, okay, turn your thing over and just lightly with a pencil put a number. And then that way, in case they got distracted and they were talking or something, they could reference back, you know, to the number. All right, so let's see. Now this one, we are putting our dimensional along here. And then, like we did before, let me get these out of the way here. So like before, we did 2. So what I'm going to do is, so I don't have to trim that little bit, I'm just going to put it just kind of under it a little bit. I don't think it's going to matter. And then the next one, you know, Maybe I'll trim the bottom one, but I don't think it's going to matter so much, that center one. And then remember I said you can, on that very first one, you could put one up there. You know, that's just that little piece that I cut off. I might even put a little one there. Remember I had that little one I cut? So I think I might even put a tiny little one. Oops, let me trim it a little bit more. I don't want to see it. Now keep in mind, if you have extra dimensionals or whatever, these might be a different thickness than we have in the catalog. So if you're going to, you know, mix and match or whatever, just make sure if you do use ones from, you know, another kit or something, that you use the same ones on the back so that they're all the same thickness. All right, so now we have this one. So again, I'm just going to line up my edges. And you saw that once I put that one in the frame, it didn't matter so much that I was off just a little tiny bit on that first one. When it touches, I did the same thing here, but that's okay. So look how cool. So you've got that, that scene coming. And then here's the next one. So this one right there. All right, so this one, okay, so this one has this one, this one. So isn't this cool? This one. Let me just trim that, see if it's shorter. Because remember, I am not wasting any of these at all. Ooh, that's perfect there. And this one. Put this one here. Oop, a little bit overhang, so we'll just trim that. But I'm not going to put it up here, because remember, it might overhang, you know, this right here and get stuck. So the only time I'll put an extra little piece is that very first layer, because you know it's going to be against that whole one there. All right, so now again, we'll put this on the bottom. Okay, so cool. And then we have the next layer. Look at those cactuses. I don't think I showed this to Jeff. I'll have to. He loves Arizona. We've lived here pretty much our whole married life. I mean, we got married in November, like 40 years ago. We just had our 40th anniversary. We got married 40 years ago. And 2 months later, we moved to Arizona. So we've been here. Now this is just that's a shorter because I picked that side piece. So we've been here a long time. So Jeff loves when people come to visit. He loves taking them on Arizona rides so he can show them the desert and all sorts of stuff. So, all right, I think I peeled that one, yeah. So we're gonna stick this one on here. And I think you could maybe go like this and then just like lay it up so that you know your bottoms are even. Let me try that. Ooh, so that might work too. All right, because then my bottoms were even. Like, so see, now it stands up. All right, and then my last piece. And then the last piece has 4 strips. Look at that one. I think these are called ocotillos, I think. Jeff would know. I don't think they're yuccas. I think yuccas are taller. Okay. 1, 2. tree. I'll have to trim. And I'll have to trim that one too. Okay. And I'll just put my little pieces over in case I need them. Okay. And then this goes on there, and then this one will be done. And like I said, I will do the frames. You don't need to see me do 4 frames since it's the same. So same thing, I'm just gonna like lay that. So I think that makes it easier by doing that. So look how cool that scenery is. I might have to find like a little, oh my gosh, not a woodpecker, oh my gosh, roadrunner. I might have to see if I can find like a little roadrunner and put there. All right, so then, so this will be the mat for that. All right, but I will do the frame after, and then I'll show you them all completed. All right. So here's the next one again. I'm gonna make sure all my layers are right before I get started. That was 2 and 3. Just making sure I've got the right order. All right. So this looks good. I think this is the one that I had them mixed up originally when I put them together last week. Okay, so you've got your base. But look how beautiful that is just by itself. All right, and then we have this piece. So if you're not sure, this really is very accurate, the little design on there. All right, so we're gonna put 1. So this one has 6. So we've got our bottom, our middle, and the top. Now it doesn't go all the way to the top. It just kind of comes down like that. And then this just goes like that. And I'll have to trim those a little bit. Okay, so I'll just trim them, and then I'll put these little pieces just up here. But remember, I said you could do that on the very first one because it is getting glued directly to the base, but you don't want to put any extra little pieces on any of the other ones because of the way they have that 3D. So this one, it doesn't matter. All right, so let's peel these off. Okay, let me see if I can do it by itself with the one. So I'm going to try this again. So I'm leaving I'm not going to do it for the first one. Okay. The more I do, the better I get. There we go. Beautiful, look at that. Oh my gosh. And it just has this, you know, it's amazing how they designed this. All right. It doesn't take much to get me excited, does it? All right, so this one also has 6. So 1, 2, and we'll trim. I mean, I can put it down here, so I'm not wasting it. Let's see, 2. So Jeff and I think I mentioned the other day, we went to, they had like a little farmer neighborhood thing or whatever at Schneff Farms this weekend. So we went that, they had food trucks and a bunch of vendors and everything. And I met a lady there that teaches pottery out here. And I had so much fun when we did the pottery class. when we went to the $1 Million Retreat, we went to Sundance, and we could pick a class. So Jeff and I picked a pottery one, and what did they say? We threw the clay on the wheel or whatever, and I'd never done that before, so it was fun. It was a quick class. I mean, I shouldn't say quick because we were there for several hours, but I think normally that kind of class would take more than one class to finish what we did. You know, I think you would go in and then you would finish it, and then maybe the next class you would paint it. You know, the next class you would, you know, glaze it. I don't know. But we did it all in one class. So when that lady was there, I was like, oh my gosh. So I signed up for a class this month. So it's a little bit different. I just want to check it out before I sign up for any more. But this one is just a, all right, so this one does 1, 2, and there's an angly one. But this is just a luminary. Make a Christmas luminary. And it just looked neat, so I thought I would check it out. She looked like a super sweet lady. And it's not too far from the house, so it's within my bubble, I like to say. All right, so then we have 1, 2, 3. And I'll just stick this down here. That won't hurt anything. All right. So I don't know why I even brought that up. That's how my memory works. I'm sure I'll remember later. All right. Anyways, okay, so stand that up. And then I'm just going to bring it together. Oh, quite cool. I think I'm going to put a little Wink of Stella on this too, like maybe just that center there where it looks like, you know, the light's kind of reflecting in the water. And then we have our rocks there. And then this one has, so I have totally used, look how, well, I shouldn't say that I've got 3 little pieces there, but I am using up the whole thing, and I'll probably have ones left over because they're probably not expecting you to use the edge pieces, but I am. All right, so now this one goes at an angle, so this one has 3, and then this one here, and I'll have to trim that. And I think it won't hurt to have that there. All right. So yeah, so I don't know why I brought that up. Maybe just because I'm excited about that. All right. So let's see here. So again, I'm going to stand this up. So I think if you hold it on the top, if you stand, it allows you to see those edges. And that's a lot easier. But look how pretty that is. All right, so where is my Wink of Stella? There you are. All right, so I'm just going to put Wink of Stella along here, I think. Instead of the whole, I don't want to do the whole lake. But I think if I put it here, just along where those are, I think that looks cool. Because see how now that just kind of like glistens a little bit, like the maybe the moon is shining on it or whatever. All right, so then we have the mat. So there it is with the mat, and again I will finish the frame and show you at the end. All right, so we have one more, which is kind of like a Swiss Alps kind of look. All right, would that be a Swiss Alps? I don't know. Geography was not my strong suit in school. Neither was math. History. I liked music and art. All right. So let's make sure I got this in the right order. Looks good, looks good, looks good, looks good. All right, so we have our base. We're going to flip these over like we did before. So here's the first one. Okay, so this one uses 5. So we have 2 on the bottom. And we'll trim that. All right, 2 here. Let me trim. And I'll just stick that up there. Won't hurt any. Because remember, this is the first one on that layer, so we can, you know, kind of reinforce it a little bit more. And then there's one more. So I'm going to pick this one here that I'm just going to trim from the edge. Since it doesn't have to meet up with anyone, it can be a little bit longer. Okay. Bring this over. So this is kind of Swiss Alps, isn't it? Or what is that? Mount Everest? I don't know. Maybe it's just mountains. Maybe it's just drawn. It's not a real place. All right, so let's see here. So we're just gonna start that first one, and then I will stand up the rest to put on. So there we've got our 2 mountains. And then our next mountain. Okay, so this one uses 4. So did any of you watch Yellowstone? So we watched Yellowstone last night. I mean, what has it been? 2 years? I don't know how long it's been, but it seems to have been a long time between those episodes. And I can't get over how big the boys are. In fact, the one boy that I can't remember the name, but he just kind of, he was like an orphan or whatever, and they brought him to the ranch. He hardly even looks like himself as he grew up. I mean, and that's how he was at the last season, from being like a youngster. I mean, he wasn't a youngster. He might have been 12 or something, but he just filled out, right? He lost weight just growing up, and he just totally changed his looks just as his face got longer as an adult. All right, so there is that. Okay, so we have our next layer. But I think that this season will just end it, right? Like, I don't know if they're going to keep doing it. Now, this one has 4 as well, which is too bad. I mean, it's been a interesting show. We really liked the, what was it, 1883 and 1923 or something like that. We really enjoyed the backstory ones. Okay, and then I'll trim those little pieces. So yeah, I'm going to have quite a bit. So if you, if you don't want to cut your edges, so I think I can put these in here. If you don't want to cut your edges like I was, you might use up more. All right. But they're nice and gushy. All right, so again, I'll stand this up so I can keep this flat, and then I just slide that up to it. Look how cool that is. All right, and then the last one. And look at these beautiful flowers. Isn't that amazing? All right, now this one also has 4. So we've got 3. So I'll cut that side piece, and then I have like a whole side of that. Just the way that I've tried to use up as many pieces as I can. Okay. I'll trim. So if you have one of these extra ones, I think if you put them in between, you'll be fine. Just don't put them up higher. All right. because then you might have issues with it sticking, you know, where it's not supposed to. But to use them up, I think putting them, you know, in between here, that's not going to be an issue. I do want to cut a little bit here though, just for that edge. I made it a little bit too short. All right. So fun. Oh my gosh. So this was pretty easy. I think any person could do these without any problem. I think, you know, even your kids could help you, right? They could be the ones to pull the backings off. They could help you with the frames. All right, so slide that up there. Look how amazing that is. All right, and then this one has its mat as well. All right, so I'm going to finish these and then I will show you them finished. So here are all my frames. I love adding that Wink of Stella. So there's that one, the kind of like the lake scene. Here's this one that I can't decide if it's the Swiss Alps or what it is. Then we have this one here, the Arizona scene. But I need to find me a little road runner. And then the last one right here. So this is the one I finished all the way. But aren't they so pretty? They're so unique. All right, so let me say, see you later, alligator. So let me know what you think about this kit. Let me know if you got it already. And it's super, super easy to put together, right? So now I can't wait to go in there and show Jeff, and maybe he'll know, you know, a little bit more about those mountains and stuff. All right, so have a great day. Otherwise, I will see you Friday for my Dies shorts. That'll be at 3 o'clock Arizona time, same channel. Thanks so much, everyone. I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.